Good morning, children. Welcome to today's social class. Today, I'm going to explain about the Ahoms. The Ahoms are one of the important tribal groups in Indian subcontinent. They're situated in the northeast part of the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so today I'm going to explain about the Ahoms. Now, last class, I already explained about the Gonds. Okay, the importance of Gonds and the administrative system of Gonds. Today, I'm going to explain about the Ahoms. Okay. The Ahoms migrated to the Brahmaputra Valley, present-day Myanmar, in the 13th century. Okay, the Ahoms migrated to the Brahmaputra Valley, present-day Myanmar, in the 13th century. Okay, so from the Myanmar, they migrated in the 13th century to the Brahmaputra Valley. Okay, so their actual place, Myanmar. From the Myanmar, they migrated in the 13th century to the Brahmaputra Valley. Okay, then they created a new state by suppressing the older political system of the Huyans, landlords. Okay, so the already in the Brahmaputra Valley there is one political system existed, that is landlords political system, that is Huyans. Okay, Huyans, and suppressed these Huyans, and they created a new state in the 16th century. Okay, they created a new powerful state in the 16th century, and they annexed the kingdom of the Huyans. Okay, in the 16th century. So that is very important. During the 16th century, they annexed Huyans and the Koch and subjugated many other tribes. The Ahoms built a large state, and for they used firearms as early as the 1530s. Okay, so in the 1530 they used firearms. Okay, so that is very important. So it shows that they were very powerful. Okay, then 1660 they could even make a high quality gunpowder and cannons. Okay, so in the 1660 they could even make high quality gunpowder and cannon. So these two examples, in 1660 they could even make a high quality gunpowder, and 1530 they used firearms. That means this shows that they are very powerful and well knowledge, well cultured people, and from the 16th century they built a large, big and powerful state. Okay, so that is about the Ahoms. Okay, these Ahoms belong to the Assam, which presently a northeastern state. Okay, northeastern state. According to the some historians, the name Assam is derived from Ahom. Okay, so the actually now it is situated in the Assam. Okay, the Assam already derived from that name, derived from the Ahoms. Okay, so that is very important. So very powerful. So one state, very powerful states emerged in the 13th century, founded, and 16th century they become very powerful, and they annexed many important states and places. Then the Ahom built a large state. Then they used firearms in 1530. Then 1660 they could even make a high quality gunpowder and cannons. Okay. Then the Ahom state depends upon forced labor. The Ahom state depends upon forced labor. Then those forced work for the states were called paids. Okay, so the Ahom state depend upon forced labor. They were known as paids. This forced labor was known as paids. Okay, then a census of the population was taken. Okay, census of the population was taken. Each village had to send number of pigs by rotation. So the forced labor, the system of forced labor, that was known as pigs. So at first they took a population census. Then each village had to send a number of pigs by rotation. Okay, each village need to send these pigs, these laborers, to as a rotation. They have to work different place. Okay, so that system they followed. Okay, people from heavily populated areas were shifted to the less populated area. Another one important thing is that from the heavily population area, there people shifted to the less populated areas. Okay, Ahom clans were thus broken up by the first half of the 17th century, the administration become quite centralized. In 17th century, the administration become the quite centralized. Okay, so the home state depend upon forced labor. It was known as pigs. Then the population also population census also taken. Then these pigs, each village had to given to these forced labor, and they are working in a different area by in rotation. Okay, then the administration 17th century administration become the quite centralized. Okay, that is very important. Almost all adult males served in the army during war. At the other times, they were engaged in building dams, irrigation system, and other public works. The Ahoms also introduced new methods of rice cultivation. Okay, so children, you look at that. They were very important because almost all adult males served in the army. Okay, all adult very powerful males, they served in the army. Okay, and other times, that means there is no when there is war happening, that time they are working and in the army. After that, other times they were engaged in building dams, irrigation system, and other public works. So other times they are doing the public works. Okay, building dams, developing the roads and all these things. Okay, so that public works they are doing, these soldiers. Okay, so these all the male adult, they are working in the army, and when there war and all these kinds of problems happening, they are working in the army. After other times they used to develop the country. So the public works were doing by these soldiers. Okay, then a home society was divided into clans or gaels. Okay, clans or gaels. There were very few caste or artisans. So artisans in the Ahoms area comes from the adjoining kingdoms. So the Ahom society was divided into clans. Okay, the society was divided into clans or gaels. Okay, other name of clans is known as gaels. Then very few artisans caste only they existed. So the artisans in the Ahoms area come from the adjoining from the other cities, from the other kingdoms, who these artisans came. Then a gael often controlled several villages. The peasants was given land by his village community. Even the king could not take it away without the community's consent. Okay, it away. So that is, the peasants also were very important. So gael means that is a clans. These gaels control many villages. Then the peasants was given land by his village community. So peasants working there. Peasants means agricultures. They are working there. Then even king could not take it away without the community's consent. Okay, so that much nicely the administrative system was going on in the Ahoms society. Okay, so that is. Originally, the Ahoms worshipped their own tribal gods during the first half of the 17th century. However, the influence of Brahmanas increased. Temples and Brahmanas were granted land by the king. Okay, then but the Ahom kings did not completely give up their tradition beliefs after adopting Hinduism. Okay, so actually the Ahoms have their own tribal gods. Okay, worshipping their own tribal gods. But during the half of the 17th century, what happened? The influence of Brahmanas increased. So these Ahoms also influenced by the Brahmanas, and this their system they changed to the Hindu society. Okay, then but the Ahoms kings did not completely give up their traditional belief after adopting Hinduism. They adopted Hinduism, but the tradition system they did not give up. Okay, so that is very important. In the 17th century, the importance of Brahmanas. So that is why they adopted Hinduism, but they completely did not give up their beliefs and the culture. Okay, and this Ahom society was very sophisticated. Sophisticated means well cultured and protecting culture and literature. Okay, so that is the well cultured and well knowledged, and they are protecting culture and literature and all these things they are protecting. Okay, so poets and scholars were given land grants. Theater was encouraged. Important works of Sanskrit were translated into the local language. Historical works known as Buranjis were also written first in the Ahom language and the Assamese. Okay, Buranjis were the one of the important works. Okay, historical works. So that you have to listen, underline Buranjis. Buranjis were also written in the Ahom. So that is, so they were very sophisticated, means well cultured and protecting culture and protecting literature, and the poets were granted very and theater. Okay, also granted, and they are performing different kinds of arts forms. Okay, so that much well cultured people. Okay, so children, today we can wind up our class. Today we discuss about the Ahoms. They migrated from the Brahmaputra into the Brahmaputra Valley, present day Myanmar, in the 13th century. They created a new state in 16th century, and in the 16th century they annexed the kingdom of Chuhyas. The Ahoms built a large state. They used firearms as early in the 1530. Then by the 1660 they could even make a high quality gunpowder and cannons. Then the Ahoms state depended upon forced labor. Okay, that was known as pigs. Okay, people from heavily populated area from there shifted to the less populated area. Okay, this scale means a clan controlled several villages, and the peasants were very important. To the peasants, land is granted, their agriculture work is happening. Then forced labor, that is also in the rotation mode. They were working the forced labor pigs. Okay, then worship, actually they were worshipping tribal gods, but in 17th century what happened, the influence of the Brahmins, they adopted Hinduism, but they did not give up their completely their beliefs and culture. And then they were sophisticated. Sophisticated means they were protecting the culture and protecting the literature, promoting the literature, and the poets and scholars were given land grants. Okay, then theater was encouraged for performing different kinds of artworks. Then important works of Sanskrit were translated into the local languages, that is known as Buranjis, one of the historic works. That is very important. Okay, this chapter is over. So complete today all kinds of works from this chapter and read this chapter many times and underline important points. And if you have any doubt, you can ask to me. Okay, thank you to listening my class.